I hope you enjoyed the show.
Finally found myself at home.
A place where I belong, keeping company with the people I care most about.
You came to us as a stranger, rid this place of crime, and gave us new hope in ourselves. That's going to be one tough act to follow.
Well, how's this? Will you be my lawful wedded wife, Miss Nancy?
Oh, yes, I will! That was the conductor.
Why not? I've been carrying her all night.
Holy Mother in heaven! Holy crap!
What? Their views aren't good? What don't they like?
Have you put on a show?
The Boston Globe says, if you loved Oklahoma, stay there as long as Rob Hood is running in Boston.
How about calls to mind Walt Disney's Pinocchio because its star is wooden, ought to be hung by piano wire and swallowed by the first whale that enters Boston Harbor?
Who said that?
The Christian Science Monitor.
You're the producer, Carmen. I sent last year's profits for my 1958 lingerie line into this show. There's got to be something in the papers we can use.
Let me consult with the writing team. Georgia, Aaron, does debacle have two meanings?
No.
Well, that's a shame. Critics! Who'd make a living by killing other people's dreams? What kind of man would take a job like that?
What kind of slob would take a job like that?
Who could be mean enough, base and obscene enough to take a job like that?
Wait a minute. Here's something in the Herald that might be good.
Formerly married composer and lyricist Aaron Fox and Georgia Hendricks had provided film star Jessica Crenshaw with a star vehicle that ought to be driven off a cliff.
What kind of mom would raise her boy like that?
Who'd want her baby to destroy like that?
Who
Could be jerking up, hard up and working up to want a job like that. Oh, what kind of low down dirty bum? Oh, what kind of swinish scurvy scum? Loathsome as they come, I wonder.
like that. So perspicacious, wise and kind like that. Far from his mother's knees, she must be thrilled to see how he grew up to be such brilliant company. Refined and reflective, completely objective, but it is up your heart to meet a man like that.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but the Cambridge Patriot is not the Boston Globe. The Globe's the review we needed.
Funny none of them mentioned Jessica fainting.
She fainted right after the bows, right before the critics dashed out of the theater to dash off their postmortems. Face it, we've been given our notices, and we've been given notice.
I'm afraid you're right.
No, you two are just oversensitive because you wrote the show. This is only round one. The first musical my husband and I produced was Savage Out of Town, but we rolled up our sleeves, did a major rewrite, and brought it to Broadway. And that musical, my friends, was Kiss Me, I'm Irish. Closed before the audience opened their playbills, but the point is, this is a Cindy and Carmen Bernstein production. We decided to go to New York, not Daryl Grady of the Boston Globe.
So we're still shooting for Broadway?
Erin and Georgia, you keep writing tunes that bounce. Olive, you keep writing checks that don't.
Very nice, but until our leading lady gets out of the hospital, who knows what might happen next?
They just have her under observation. I'm sure she'll be out by morning.
Is there no limit?
Sounds like our director.
Is there no limit?
She got such horrendous reviews.
Is there no limit, I ask you, to my unbridled brilliance?
Chris, where the hell were you tonight? As art director, you owed all of
Oh,
us.
be still your foolish mouth. There is nothing to be gleaned by watching one show with a fraudulent audience on opening night. I went for a walk, past the Cathedral of the Holy Cross, went in, wildly spiritual. I tell you, those Catholics really know how to put on a show. And right there in the middle of the Eucharist, I had an epiphany. At this stage in the life of any musical, one should refrain from inventing anything brilliant and simply eliminate all that is absolutely awful. What I asked, without fear of contradiction, was the most awful thing in the entire show. Jessica, of course. Carmen, I was coming over here to convince you to get rid of our star, only to have the cast inform me she's in the hospital. I see the hand of the Lord in this.
Mrs. Bernstein, there's a phone call waiting for you in your office.
Thanks, Jenny. That's probably my husband calling.
And where was Sydney tonight, Carmen?
Sydney's in New York, booking a theater for us, and knowing my husband, also booking a soprano who can't dance but knows how to move.
At least she can joke about it.
It's very easy to joke about marriage when people like Sydney and you don't take it seriously.
But there's no comparison. I never did anything but flirt with any girl in any cast while you and I were married.
Barbara O'Brien.
She was an usher. And besides, that was only after you moved out.
Oh, so you finally looked up from your music and noticed I was gone.
Jenny, you're the stage manager. How's the cast taking the reviews?
Oh, well, they decided to dress to the nines and throw a combination opening and closing night party.
Oh, defeatist, the lot of you. You've yet to hear my plan of action, but hear it ye shall. Jenny, come help me watch you move the piano.
What plan? You think he wants to go to Broadway using an understudy?
Well, at least we still have Bobby in the title role.
That's what matters, right? I mean, the only reason you teamed up with me again was you could rekindle your romance with our leading man.
Aaron, when I signed up, I had no idea Bobby was in the show.
Right. That's why at our very first rehearsal, we walked right up to him and said,
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, sweetie. Looks like we're all going to be heading back to New York a little sooner than we thought. But if you and I are going back together, that's one flop. That's a big hit with me.
Eh bien, mes enfants, a brief demonstration of what's been wrong with this show from its very first love song.
You mean thinking of him? But that's one of my best songs in the show.
One of our best songs.
See, Georgia agrees with me.
Nevertheless, I have had an issue with it since our very first day of rehearsal. Georgia, sing our leading lady's opening number.
What song is this?
The one with the new lyric Georgia wrote about me.
About Rob Hood.
Precisely, Aaron play. Georgia, sing. Harry, put your light Q5.
Oh, this is silly. I haven't sung on stage in years.
Just sing.
sometimes, making him feel someplace in the light is his, telling him just how special he is, thinking of him, thinking of him. Telling the truth when nobody's willing to tell him the truth, fighting for him, living for him, thinking it over. That's what I think I'll do. Well, isn't it time? Isn't it high time? I'm just thinking of me.
Maybe it's time. Maybe it's my time. You were thinking of you.
Thinking of me too.
Well done, George.
Gee, I finally hear how that song was meant to go.
Listen, Chris, if you expect me to believe that something's been wrong with this song since our very first rehearsal, you better tell me what.
It's that we ever allowed Jessica Cranshaw to sing it. Now listen here, everyone. I think it is a shame our leading lady collapsed at tonight's performance. She might have done it weeks ago and saved us all a month of misery. However, the cavity that Jessica has created must be appropriately filled.
May I speak? As Jessica's understudy, I don't feel comfortable taking over under these circumstances.
There is no need to feel terrible.
But
There is no need because you are still going to be the understudy. To Georgia.
Chris,
You know the score and script better than anyone else. You sing the songs from your heart because that's where the words came from. I realize it's been quite some time since you traded in your tap shoes for a rhyming dictionary. but-
Excuse me, but speaking for those of us in the chorus, I really think Nikki should get her role. She's talented and she's dedicated.
And since you're Nikki's understudy, if she gets the lead, you get her part.
Well, yes, that too.
Nice try, Bambi. But either Georgia's in or I'm out. What do you say, Olive?
Chris, I'll put my money where your mouth is.
Launder it first. Erin, I assume this move more than meets with your approval.
No, to be honest, it doesn't.
Thank you for the vote of confidence.
I have my
You
reasons.
always have.
Besides, this whole debate is completely pointless if Jessica shows up tomorrow.
God help us, her performance was worse than ever this evening.
Jessica Cranshaw will never be better than she was this evening.
But she was horrible.
I know. But she'll never be better. She's dead. That was the hospital on the phone. In terms of future performances, Jessica Cranshaw now has a conflict.
What happened?
They wouldn't tell me.
Well, Chris, would you like to say something to the company about Jessica?
Well, shall we observe a moment of silence to match the audience's response to Jessica's first number?
Chris!
Oh, all right. Semicircle, everyone. Sopranos. Let's have the tenors of Bambi. You're blocking an entire side of the house. Semicircle. People. Jessica was part of this company, and now we part company. I am sure we shall remember her in both our thoughts and in our resumes. And as thespians, I know you all would like to express your sorrow as both a tribute and as an acting exercise. F sharp minor.
Go tell her fans to change their plans. The woman's dead.
Would
assigned to the homicide division, and oh, it's an honor to be standing on the same stage with each and every one of you. Sorry if I've interrupted your rehearsal, but let me assure you that I don't want my work to delay your production from reaching the home on Broadway it genuinely deserves. I happened to see Rob Hood in previews, and may I say, with the exception of the deceased Miss Cranshaw, you're all just such wonderful performers. And what a great score.
I appreciate that, Lieutenant.
And on behalf of my half of that compliment, thanks as well.
You're more than welcome. I've done a little community theater myself. Oh, nothing that fancy at all. Although my Billy Bigelow at the Brookline Barn House got a favorable review. And in A Midsummer Night's Dream, my bottom was very well received.
Oh, wait one moment. You said you're from Homicide.
Well, yes. Based on a preliminary autopsy, it's clear that Jessica Cranshaw was murdered.
And what are they going to do with her killer? I mean, does he get some sort of trophy or a Pontiac convertible?
I'm so sorry. It's pure reflex. It's pure reflex.
Wow, what killed her?
Hydrocyanic acid. It's commonly used in electroplating as well as the gas chamber at St. Quentin. It was in capsule form, which is why no one realized she had been poisoned until the capsules began dissolving in her stomach, starting a chemical reaction that created her own personal gas chamber internally.
Horrible.
Working backwards from when the capsules dissolved, we know she was poisoned in the final minutes of this evening's performance.
But couldn't she have just poisoned herself?
Trauma at the back of her throat suggests she did not take the capsules willingly. Now, who's in charge here other than myself?
Permit me, Lieutenant, I am the critically acclaimed director, Christopher Belling, and I will be blocking your investigation.
I hope that's not the case.
No, not preventing, blocking, as in directing your movements on stage.
Well, if you need to wrap things up with your cast, please go right ahead.
Company, I know you all give Georgia support as she steps into the late Miss Cranshaw's shoe.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
As one would expect from me. And now, all those willing to press forward with Robin Hood, give me a show of hands.
That's it? Listen, people, life is full of setbacks and disappointments. As my husband first demonstrated at the bridal suite of the Hotel Taft. Well, with Georgia taking over the lead, we've got ourselves a real shot. This show is going on. What do you say, gang? Are you with me?
You know, if we leave now, we can make that last train back to New York.
Stop! It's clear that every one of you is in perfect physical condition, so the show must go on.
Why?
Because, as well as time itself, there's a grand theatrical tradition that the show must go on.
Forget it.
I've got a contract, you signed a contract, go read your contract! And I will count to 10 and then I'll sue you. Oh yes, I'll sue you. And when I sue you, you'll never work again.
Excuse me, but who is the equity representative?
I am Mrs. Bernstein. As equity deputy, I must warn you. Any further threats and you'll be brought up on charges.
Oh, shut up, Elaine!
The name is Bambi. Mother.
All right, let's put it this way. For the backwards sake, I'm asking your permission to let the show go on.
No.
The show must go on.
Not a chance.
The show must go on.
Why?
Because I say the show must go on.
Oh! I can't believe I'm hearing this. I won't believe it. Putting on a musical has got to be the most fulfilling thing a person could ever hope to do. You people, you're all heroes to me. You're a special kind of people known as show people. You live in a world of your own. The audience paid plenty to sit there and clap, hearing you sing, watching you tap. Did you know your dentist longs to be in show business? You're Sherlock Holmes and cheer Matinee.
Ask your cleaning lady, don't you dream of show business to vocalize and stretch beside a bar.
Her affirmative shrug as she shampoos your rug lets you know how lucky you are. There's a special kind of aura around a show person.
Just ask the next waiter you meet.
He looks in fifth position, his voice is just grand.
He gives you the tip, you give him a hand.
It's a voice in Valley Parkington. Show business in the scout behind a tin boiler car.
And I just started taking a bow about getting me O-U-G-H.
Oh, so how lucky you are. We're a special kind of people known as show people. We live in a world of aura. Our days are tied to curtains, they rise and they fall. We're born every night at half-hour call.
Half hour.
We can't picture being anything but show people. So really it's like the whole thing private song. Love that hum in our hearts when the overture starts helps us know how lucky we are.
Show people. Show people.
Robin Hood really should go on.
Lieutenant, may I speak to you for a moment? My name's Nikki.
Harris, Miss Nikki Harris. I read your bio several times on the bus ride home the other evening. May I say I found your performance particularly memorable. It was lovely.
Well, thank you.
Just lovely.
Oh, thank you.
I'm crazy about your little vibrato.
It's very kind. Anyways, yesterday Miss Crenshaw asked me if I would help coach her on her lines. Of course I said I'd be glad to help.
That's so like you.
Well, I am her understudy. Or at least I used to be. I guess I'm George's now. But then these 3 letters fell out of Miss Cranshaw's script. She didn't take them seriously, but I kept them. I'm afraid my fingerprints are all over them. They're death threats. See? Words and letters have been pasted onto the paper, cut with little curved finger scissors from a newspaper or magazine, I would imagine.
You'll drop before the curtain does. You're murdering the score, but I'll murder you. If you don't quit, you'll die legit.
Can you tell anything from them?
Well, they seem pretty negative in spirit.
Well, yes, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were hoping for the Arthur Conan Doyle version. Oh, unfortunately, these notes reveal very little. Except that the person who wrote them is a man in his early 30s, 6'4" in height, wears a pewter ring, served in the Merchant Marines, and despite being right-handed, is known to his best friends as Lefty.
However, did you know all that?
Oh, I don't. I was just saying that. You probably hoped I'd be able to tell. Wow, if I could do that from just these, I mean, wow.
Gee, for a second I was impressed. As I once told my husband at the Hotel Taft. Well, what do you say we all go across the street and have ourselves one slobber knocker of a wake for the late and blessed and great Jessica Bradshaw. Drinks are on me!
Just a minute. I'm sorry, but this theater's quarantined. All the exits are guarded, and none of you are allowed to leave. Sorry, but the entire company and crew will be living right here in the theater until further notice. Emergency services will bring in pots and meals.
Wait a second. The talented members of this cast are entitled to a day off.
Talented members and even you, Elaine.
Listen. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but to the best of my recollection, Jessica Cranshaw never left the stage during the show's final 10 minutes. If so, then I'm sorry, but she had to have been murdered by one of you. I've never had a case with this many suspects, and I can't have each of you followed around the clock. Best I keep you here under lock and key until I solve this crime.
You're taking the law into your own hands, Toffee.
Well, that's sort of what I'm paid to do. I mean, I have a badge and my own gun. Anyway, being sequestered here will allow you to focus on fixing the show.
Fixing? Keep your molested hands off me, you hear?
Who's that?
Sounds like my husband on his best behavior.
I guess he left New York.
Lucky New York.
Well, isn't this just peachy keen? You all waited up for me. Jenny. I'm still wearing my coat.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Bernstein.
Sydney, it has been an awful night. I hear you, Chris. And I'm turning in my resignation. Never mind, I can't hear you, Chris. How you holding up, Olive?
Oh, I can't complain.
Oh, that's right. You can't.
Welcome back to Boston, Sydney.
Oh, hello.
It's me, Sydney, your stepdaughter.
Sorry about that, Fawn.
It's Bambi.
And last of the least, Mrs. B, my junior partner and lesser half.
All right, let's get it over with, Sydney.
What? You expect me to be upset? I left you in charge of opening night, and I come here to find a murdered leading lady, deadly reviews, and a bunch of cops who tell me I can't leave this theater!
It appears you've arrived at just the wrong time for you and just the right time for me, Mr. Bernstein.
Excuse me?
Lieutenant Frank Chaffee. Now listen, folks. You should all go about your various tasks just as if this weren't the scene of a homicide. Detective McNichol is waiting downstairs for all of your pertinent information. I'd like each of you to give him your name, address, and 8x10 glossy. I'll be speaking with you all in the morning. Pleasant dreams, everyone.
Lieutenant, I can't be a suspect. I was in New York when Jessica was murdered.
Can you prove that?
Well, it just so happens that I've been keeping company with a young actress who I just happen to be keeping. You know, helping out with rent. She's on Sutton Place. If I tell you her name, it could ruin her reputation.
Your chivalry is touchingly convenient.
Lieutenant, I have many influential friends in New York City!
Too bad you're in Boston.
Will you be needing me any further, Lieutenant?
No. But I do have some additional questions for your boyfriend.
Oh, I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh my gosh. Actually, Miss Harris, I'd like to take you into my confidence regarding this investigation.
Why's that, Lieutenant?
Because if I don't, there's really no reason for us to keep talking.
Then take me into your confidence with confidence, Lieutenant.
Something seems very wrong here. I just met an opening night's cast who seemed all too eager to close.
Well, I can understand how they might feel. I gave up wonderful jobs and hit Broadway shows just to work up here in Boston. I've never performed outside of the city, and poor baby's had to fight her mother at every step just to be in the chorus. As for the rest of the cast, they're overworked and underpaid, though surely not enough to drive any of them to murder.
Keep in mind that I'm within arm's reach any hour, day or night.
You think I'm in some kind of danger?
No, that was a completely unrelated thought.
You live with danger on a daily basis, don't you, Lieutenant?
Oh, it's mostly paperwork and procedure. Detectives have an opening night, Miss Harris. We make our entrance after the curtain has fallen on someone else's life.
But it's a calling, isn't it? Like a doctor or a teacher.
Or an actor.
Oh, I suppose you're right. I can't imagine doing anything else with my life. It's not wrong to be married to one's work, is it?
No. Not at all, but sometimes it's no honeymoon either. I like my job. I really do. And if I say so myself, I'm good at it too. I catch the bad guys, well, most of the time. So it's a good life, a perfectly good life, not exactly sublime. When I finish my work and I crawl into bed, I reflect as I turn out the lights. that the day that's to come and the week that's ahead will be lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. Lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights.
But it's reassuring to have such a dependable schedule, like matinees every Wednesday.
Or brisket and broad beans each Thursday.
With your friends.
Oh, well, yeah. I like my pals. The guys on the force. We are not very social. They're married, of course. Sometimes we go bowling or have a few beers. So it's a fine life, a perfectly fine life. I'd give it 2 cheers. 'Cause sometimes I think at the end of the day, when I've read the last burglar his rights, that the life that I lead, it's a little bit gray, with its lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. Lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights.
But your acting roles, do they make for a change?
Oh, Miss Harris, each year from May 23rd to the 12th of June, when I turn my life over to the Swallow Street Players, it's more than a vacation for me. It's an overture of hope. It's the curtain rising on the greatest joy of my life. But the rest of the year, the life that I lead, it's a little bit gray. There are plenty of low days and not many highs. Mostly lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. I don't need to see you forward, but might I walk you home?
Oh, I'd be delighted. But you said we're not allowed to leave.
Damn.
I'm sorry. You're all being so very patient, but I can't do this.
Honey, I've seen you do this.
In a previous life.
Would somebody like me to try?
I promise they'll adore you almost as much as I do.
I go from a garage take right into a split.
And you're looking just great.
Impossible, I know, but somehow I do it.
If one of you is the killer, would you please take her next?
Folks, Detective O'Farrell is here with the last delivery of clothing for your hotel room. Go ahead and collect your bundles downstairs. And in 1/2 hour, Lieutenant Chaffee will begin questioning altos and tenors.
Ah, Herr Lieutenant, rising from your interrogation chamber to grace us with your presence.
I thought I'd stretch my legs. I've been stuck in the green room all day.
Oh, at least you slept in your own bed last night.
Sorry about that.
I intrigue you, don't I, Lieutenant?
Yes, Mr. Belling, both as a director and as a suspect.
Got just what you wanted, Lieutenant.
Oh, thank goodness, and you picked up those clothes for Nikki Harris that I asked for.
But blues and greens. Are you planning some kind of trap on her?
No, I'm trying to match her eyes.
Heads up! I'm pulling the backdrop!
Excuse me, Lieutenant Chaffee, homicide, mind telling me who you are and how you got in here?
Oh, as a member of the press, I'm exempt from your quarantine, Lieutenant. Darryl Grady of the Boston Globe.
After the review you gave Robin Hood, I can't imagine why you'd show your face here of all places.
I'm as mystified as you. The show's producers called and asked me to pay a visit.
That's right. Carmen Bernstein, Mr. Grady. You have our thanks for coming by, if not for your reviews.
Listen, I tried my level best to say something good about your production. I praised the choreography. And that young woman, the school marm, Nikki,
Harris?
Well, I'm afraid she's all history now. My condolences on the loss of your star and your show.
When you interviewed me last week, I told you we're going to Broadway no matter what you wrote about us.
We're keeping Robin Hood open. And once we've ironed out the kinks, we're asking you to review it again, with Georgia Hendricks in the lead.
Georgia Hendricks? Your lyricist? She hasn't been in a show for years. That's some story. And yes, there is a precedent for reappraising a show with a new lead. Alright, tell you what, I'll review your show tomorrow night.
Tomorrow?
It's the best I can do. And to be fair, keep in mind that not many shows survive 2 bad reviews from the Globe in 1 week.
Carmen, go tell the cast we've got 24 hours to hold a week of rehearsals.
If we fail, you'll live to regret it.
The only thing I regret, Sydney, is marrying you.
Oh, good day, Lieutenant.
Oh, you've just made it one, Miss Harris.
Wow, Nikki, that dress makes your, eyes look so pretty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Mr. Darrell Grady, am I allowed to offer my thanks for the kind words you wrote?
Please don't misunderstand, Miss Harris, but I try not to fraternize with the artists I review. But let me say, you did stand out from what was otherwise an abundantly misguided production.
Mr. Grady, I thought your review of Robin Hood was needlessly cruel and way off mark.
Well, I'm not sure you know how to judge acting, Lieutenant.
Of course, you're the expert. However, I regret to inform you that I'm now placing you under arrest for the crime of murder.
What? What did God's Henry say?
Anything you say may be taken down in writing and used against you in a court of law.
Are you insane?
I'm saying my best lines from Agatha Christie's Murder at the Vicarage. I played Chief Inspector Slack for the Nattown Players 2 summers ago. Oh, did you think I was saying serious? Gosh, I'm not sure you know how to judge acting, Mr. Grady. You can go now.
Come on, Grady. Let me walk you to the door.
Oh, swell acting, Lieutenant, and not just community theater, I mean college.
Oh, well, thank you.
And how's the investigation going, if I may ask?
I've looked into the show's financial records, and, you know, you are right. Everyone here is working for the same equity minimum, and not just your newcomers like you and Bambi, but your stars, too. Listen, this is no place to talk. Why don't you and me get out of here for a little while?
You won't let me leave.
Damn. Lieutenant, you must clear the stage immediately. I have just been informed I have less time to reinvent this show than Moses had to cross the Red Sea, and he had God on his side.
Hey, is this true?
I'm being reviewed tomorrow?
Nikki, go fetch Bambi. I have no choice but to reblock in the same boat here and now.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch this.
Why? You think something's going to happen?
No, I just really like this number. Although,
What?
oh, it's nothing, but
What?
gosh, can't believe I'm about to say this and shoot me with my own gun if I'm way out of line.
What is it?
I don't think simply changing the choreography is going to help. The song itself is sort of lackluster. It lacks
Yes?
luster. 3 women on the Arkansas River in a rowboat that's sinking fast, trying to get to the federal courthouse in Wichita before farmers lose their land. It's great stuff. It's your 11 o'clock number, but the music itself, I wonder, could we hear a bit of it?
Aaron. Ladies, sing for me. William, here you go, coffee, just for you.
In the same boat, on the same sea, shaking inside as the tide keeps rising. Various ship, various sail, various soul on the whole horizon. Still we are not discouraged. Due to the aging book that you like me to win, take it home on the ship when you're in St.
You see what I'm saying? For such a big moment in the show, it's sort of mild manners.
Strangely enough, I agree. We need a completely new composition, one that's catchier than Pink Eye.
Oh, you wanted a hit.
Yes, Aaron, and not some song from one of your failed shows either. None of your I'm kind drunk music.
Listen, Chris, if you expect me to get anything done, you need to find me some private time with my piano and my writing partner.
Your writing partner is now my dancing partner and the star of this show. If she doesn't get this new number under her belt tonight, we're all finished.
And I need to see that very number in full just regalia this instant. Jenny, tell the cast to change for the final bars in the bar at the Barbie Bar Saloon.
Say again?
I can't say that again.
Mr. Belling's rehearsal takes priority, so anyone who needs to change costumes, please go right ahead. The rest of you, Please proceed to the green room where Detective O'Fair will be fingerprinting the entire company. That is, unless one of you would be kind enough to explain why you committed murder. So let's clear the stage and give our composer the solitude he needs. That should buy you a few minutes alone with your piano, Mr. Fox.
Alone, yeah.
Must be hard creating while your writing partner is
Otherwise engaged.
Could I ask, only because I've wondered this my entire life, what would usually come first? The music or the lyric?
Same answer as the chicken or the egg.
So it's the lyric.
No. A great melody doesn't always need a lyric. Or a lyricist.
Then where do you start?
Well, it can start with a note, which can become a phrase. And then you try hanging words off each branch, like trimming a tree.
Sounds easy enough.
Really? Well, don't talk about love, or you'll have to say fits like a glove, or as certain as push comes to shove. You will pine for the woman you're constantly thinking of. You see the problem?
Dangling participle. So you suggest staying away from love?
Oh, at all costs. And don't mention your life. Or you'll have to say, cuts like a knife. Or refer to the heartbreak and strife. When you find that you're missing your...
Missing?
What?
You were saying what you miss.
I meant the... Well... I miss the music. I miss the song. Since she's not with me, it comes out wrong. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I lost the music. I don't know why. You may have known before I met her. I wrote alone, but if you ask me what I prefer, I'd say the music I wrote with her. When you're writing a song and you've a partner, the room is filled with jokes and chatter. She says something, you say something. She writes a line, you play a vamp. But when you're writing a song without a partner, that's a completely different matter. No one tells you that's not funny. No one says let's cut that bar. No one makes you better than you are. I can't pretend. I miss the music. I miss my friend. No need to ask me what I prefer. I'd say the music I wrote with her. I liked the music I made with...
I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
No, I'm afraid I'm the guilty party there. Thank you, Mr. Fox, for all of your insights. Miss Hendricks, best of luck in your upcoming number. We'll speak later.
I forgot my lyric. Can you believe it? Me,
Well, you're not the lyricist now, you're the star. How does it feel being back on the boards?
Terrifying, yet thrilling. I've missed the stage.
Hey, baby, we gotta run that way or right away.
Must we?
It's our last chance to land a number before we pack it in for the night. Here we go, honey.
Aaron, I'm thinking you were right when you said I was wrong for this.
Georgia! Break a leg.
Thanks. You can finish the song without me?
I'm a one-man band.
But how you proceed to pursue this way.
This way?
And shake it that way.
That way?
There's every chance he'll see you dance and holler at away. If you flip away,
Flip away?
Rose hates your hip away. Just wait and see, I guarantee your man won't slip away. If you're the mate for him, don't sit and wait for him. It's up to you, but if you do, you'll be too late for him. If there's a spot away, don't throw his hat away. But get that fight and hold him tight till he gets that way.
What's that? What's that? Stirring this romance. Holy cow! What the heck do I do now? What's that?
Dynamic and uplifting, leaving the audience champing at the bit for Act 2. In this set, who doesn't love saloons?
All right, we do need to set the poses first.
Sorry, but if I may. I've had a chance to question all of you, and you seem like a terrific bunch of people, but I'm afraid this briefcase contains some very compromising evidence I've managed to turn up about one of you. I don't mean to point any fingers, but I have some additional questions.
Lieutenant, you have an urgent call from headquarters.
Oh, shoot. Mr. Belling, just go on with what you were doing.
Yes, so as I was saying, I need to set the poses for the act.
Right. As I thought, as you were. Looks like everybody but Nikki has something to hide. And there's nothing in the briefcase, by the way, except a container of chowder from the Union Oyster House.
Ooh, is it Manhattan?
Yes, here you go. So I've had a chance to question all of you. Made a few phone calls, and what do I come up with? A murder victim named Jessica Cranshaw, working for a fraction of her usual firm salary. A distinguished director who despised the late Miss Cranshaw, yet slaves to make the show work all the same. A dance choreographer who turned down a chance to work with the Belgian to to do a song and dance for spare change. Ex-partners in marriage and music who inexplicably reunite, though they no longer work in harmony. A one-man bank named Olive Shapiro, who despite having no previous interest in theater, sinks payment after payment into this show. And a company who cheers when their shows torn to ribbons by the critics because it means they are long last free to take better jobs back on Broadway. What does that tell me? That Sid Bernstein has been blackmailing every member of the company into working on this show.
Lieutenant, it's a lie!
New dancers?
Okay, when I first started out, I gave Sid Bernstein a private audition that I was hoping would stay private.
But what about the rest of you? You all seem like clean-cut folks. What could have all of you possibly done that you don't want the people back home to know about?
Lieutenant, I happen to think that most people have something about themselves they'd like to keep to themselves.
I agree, but I'm not here to uncover all of your dark secrets, only the one that caused someone to murder Jessica Cranshaw.
People, I had no idea this was how Sidney got you all to work for so cheap. He's the one who handles the negotiations.
Well, he won't be able to deal his way out of breaking the law. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't be blackmailed anymore. Like your all-stone murder suspects. Now get back to work. You may have joined this show for all the wrong reasons, but you'll press on. Because you have a contract.
Damn straight.
And because Olive deserves a return on her investment.
Thank you.
And because the best way for me to solve Jessica's murder is to keep the heat turned up on this pressure cooker of her theater. And lastly, because this could be a really good show. Take it away, Curtis.
Yes, so finally again.
Heads up! The striking set.
What? No, Jenny, I haven't finished setting the poses yet.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind, the last 4 bars then. Bobby.
A 5, 6, 7.
I'm heading that way.
Why is there no curtain?
We're having a little trouble with it.
I want the curtain closed now.
All right, how's this?
Did you see something go up as the curtain closed?
Oh my god, Jenny, open the curtain quick!
Curtain!
Jenny, don't close the curtain!
Curtain!
Jenny, open the curtain.
Curtain! I think we fixed the curtain.
I don't like it a blackout.
up in the same boat. Your breakfast orders are waiting downstairs. Oh, and Lieutenant Chalky is here.
Morning, folks.
Welcome back, Lieutenant, to your marathon production of No Exit.
I've just come from Sid Bernstein's autopsy.
Oh, and did they drive a stake through his heart just to please save Chris?
Not in front of his widow. How are you holding up, Carmen?
You all sat out for breakfast and nobody thought to tell me?
Well, at least be considerate of his daughter.
Stepdaughter. And even though I was his very own stepflesh and stepblood, he was just as cool to me as he was to my mother.
Breakfast is going to be cold if you don't get an apple. Go on. Go.
Well, at least this time all of us have an alibi. Everyone was standing around on stage when Sydney got the old heave-ho.
No, according to the coroner, Sidney was struck on the head before he died. Someone knocked him on the head before he rehearsed George's number and dragged his body to the stage to hang him. He was hanging there the entire number.
My gosh.
So, you see, he could have been killed by anyone with access to this stage, including you, Jenny.
What does that mean?
We found a copy of Variety with words cut out of it in the stage manager's office. Your office.
Well, Chris and all have keys too.
Then it looks like you three are my first official murder suspects.
Well, it's an honor just to be nominated.
But you're all still under suspicion. I found this little black book in Bernstein's breast pocket. Look familiar? Each page contains the name of a company member and a notation in Bernstein's personal secret code. Obviously a memo as to why each of you were being blackmailed.
No! Meaning, no, I wasn't being blackmailed, but also meaning, no! I've just found more death threats. Oh dear, and they're covered in my fingerprints once again.
That's okay, Miss Harris. You've already proven yourself to be forthcoming, trustworthy, and just so very nice.
Thank you.
Dear Sydney, end the show or it's the end of you.
Oh my god! Sid Bernstein died for nothing! He told me he was gonna close the show.
When did he tell you that?
In his office, right before he got hoisted. He said somebody had just last minute changed his mind about keeping Robin Hood open, that I should save him money for his next Boston show. Then I saw him go upstairs to watch Georgia rehearse her big number. She gave me back the very last check I wrote him.
You can give that check back to me. I am not closing the show. Come on, Olive. Let's put this check in a safe place.
It felt pretty safe in my bra.
What's the matter, Lieutenant?
It's been bothering me since yesterday. Why is it that Bobby,
What?
out of everyone on this stage, you
Right, Lieutenant, spit it out.
ought to be in the Fort Henderson Square dance number.
Beg pardon?
You'd stop the show, and would Rob Hood go to the big picnic disguised as Alan O'Dell?
It makes sense.
Daryl Grady from the Boston Globe loved Bobby's dancing.
Bobby, can you improvise a short turn in time for tonight?
I guess, but I don't know if I can make the costume change in time for the next scene.
For God's sakes, Bobby, it's just taking off a bandana and putting on a mask. Would it kill you to try?
Oh, well, time's out now. Jenny, the Fort Henderson Square dance number.
Fort Henderson Square dance number.
Now we're getting somewhere. And Aaron, for the love of Mike, we've got to have that rewrite we promised her in the same boat.
I already did it.
Without me?
Yeah, I mean, we rehearsed it last night while you were getting fitted.
To be honest, I think it turned out pretty well.
Well, can I hear it?
Yes, sure. I changed it to Rob Hood and his men, heading down the mighty Colorado River, you know, a real He-Man approach. All right then, Bobby. Quick chorus of In the Same Boat.
Randy, Harv, help me out here.
Wait, if you just wrote it last night, then what are the musicians playing?
I wrote a brand new melody for the old orchestra parts.
Very smart.
I think we've got help this time. 5, 6, 7, 8, here we are. My shipmates and me, lost on a windy sea. All the planks are springing a leak. We'd like to build, and regret to say our compass is gone, but somehow we still sail on, because you had our best, and some fellow wrote, and what the heck, we're in the same boat.
Sorry. No, believe me, it's a boat attempt, and it's got some of that vim we've been searching for, but it's still missing something.
Well, of course, we only had one half of our writing team working on this version.
Doing the best I can.
Excuse me, everyone. I just had a thought.
Ah, how long we've waited for this day.
If we're adding Bobby to the Kansas Land number, it just so happens he and I have been working on a dance routine that's perfect for my Princess Kickaboo character. And him.
We've been messing around with kind of Apache dance.
It's a pas de deux for two.
Bobby, it would save us a lot of time if it's ready to go.
I mean, we've only talked it.
I'm ready.
Carmen, Bambi is the spawn of your loins. Yes or no?
Normally, I would say over my dead body, but I don't want to give anyone ideas. Sure, let her take a shot at it.
Come on, Georgia, we better go tell the cast.
Aaron, I thought you were going to write us a better version of In the Same Boat.
I just played it, didn't you hear it?
I did. Aaron, I thought you were going to write us a better version of In the Same Boat.
I'm putting In the Same Boat into dry dock for the time being.
Wait, Aaron, come back. When you have a new song.
Thank you for the chance, Mother.
It's called giving you enough rope to hang yourself with, Elaine. Maybe not my best choice of words.
You always make fun of me in front of other people.
Perhaps I should leave.
No, you have dreams of being in theater, Toffee. You should hear this too. Elaine, as a Broadway producer, there's something much more important to me than you getting a star turn.
What?
Me, turning a profit. I've never been known as one of those stupid clucks, Elaine.
Bambi.
Pisses away a lot of her hard-earned bucks, Elaine.
Bambi.
But facing the fact your color Tora sucks, Bambi. Though it breaks your mother's heart, don't forget about the part. It's time for you to know why I really back this show. You asked me for my motives, well, you needn't be so smart, it's a business. It isn't making history, it isn't making art, it's a business. Sean and Nipson, take them away, and don't bother me with more, yeah, those Russians never pay. So go on, criticize me, please, proceed with your attack. It's a business. I put 1 million in, and I expect 2 million back. It's a business. So what's the crime if I commit it? If I'm putting up a fight, it's a business. And I want those paid suckers out there giving me the business every night. Am I getting through to you, Elaine?
I'm sorry, Mother. To me, the theater is a temple.
What? So it should only be built on the Sabbath? Give me a hand, fellas. Very funny, you know what I mean. Back me up. The not-for-profit theaters don't need to turn a buck. That's not business.
That's not business.
So give a list of Strata, and I wish him lots of luck. I do business.
She does business.
Forky, my name is Spence. You're once a valiant kipper, you'll never get through Lent. I want to up Elaine. That's my opinion, and I don't care who knows it.
Well, I think my dance number could be very provocative.
Oh, sweetie, the only thing you could arouse is suspicion.
Great. The company's ready to run the square dance number.
Oh, joy beyond my wildest dreams.
May I?
Carmen, how many more hours do we have left before we reviewed by
Daryl Grady of the Boston Globe.
Grady? You're not what I expected. But then again, I've never actually seen a picture of you.
Complete anonymity is a critic's best tool.
Oh? Well, I suppose I shouldn't bite the hand that slaps me. But it's unethical to review our rehearsal.
But you forget I report for it on the Globe for the theater as well as report on it. Your show is news, and I'm setting aside my customary professional distance to interview members of your company down in the green room. With your permission, Miss Bernstein.
Free publicity, Carmen.
Poor Sydney. He would have died to get this much press. And he did. The green room is yours, Grady.
All right, company. The Fort Henderson Square dance number. With Bambi auditioning a new dance section with Bobby.
This I have got to see.
Keep all your fingers crossed.
So let us follow the Yellow Brick Road in the wrong direction, all the way back to Kansas land. Aye-haw.
Come every second Sunday of each month throughout the year. The women folk head out from town to bring soldiers here.
We drink them up to fill.
Yeah, that's all these ladies share. There ain't no chance for romance when you dance strictly square.
Kansas land, little Charlie never shows. Kansas land, we can't be
and post-edit all the exits so nobody's getting out of here, including whoever fired that shot. Bobby.
Hey, I'm bleeding.
Looks like it's just a grease wound. Did anyone see anything? Bobby, who knew you'd be leaving when you did?
Well, nobody. I was trying it for the first time. That was some fancy shooting.
Too fancy, unless you weren't the person they were trying to shoot. Everybody but Bobby, go back to where you were when the shot rang out. You folks stay right there.
Hold on! Aren't we all sitting ducks here?
Whoever shot Bobby had plenty of time to fire again if they didn't mind getting caught. Go back to your places. Guys, this crate was here?
That's right.
Here's where the bullet entered and exited. It grazed Bobby, but may have been aimed at you, Randy. Why aren't you wounded?
Oh, I am! Deep down! And you can ask her why.
Are you normally standing here at this point in the number?
No. I moved here to give Bobby room.
So chances are you weren't the person they were trying to shoot either. So continuing on the bullet's path, it must have been aimed at you, Nikki. You were here when Bobby was shot?
I'm not sure. Is that important?
Well, if you were, you very well couldn't have shot yourself, and I could rule you out as the killer.
You haven't ruled me out already, Lieutenant?
Wait a second, Bobby. You're holding that handkerchief against your left arm.
Well, it's bleeding.
But that's impossible. If the shot came from out there, and you were leaping with your right side towards the audience, there's no way the bullet could have struck the left side of your left arm. Guys, weren't the skull and crossbones facing the audience?
Oh, I guess we put it the wrong way around.
So it's exactly the opposite. The shot was fired from behind the backstage curtain, grazed Bobby at the end of its leap, and went through the crate on its way to you.
Me?
Yep, and here's the bullet hole to prove it.
But that would mean the shot was fired
By somebody on this stage or just behind that set. You folks who were off stage, were you with anyone?
No.
So the only person who couldn't have fired that shot was Carmen because she was too far downstage. You think Bobby should place dance much further downstage?
I was planning on having the same idea.
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to search everyone for a gun.
What kind of response?
You won't be me for that!
She did it!
She did it, she did it, she did it, she did it, that Nikki is tricky and slick!
Please, stop that. Nikki, what are you doing with that gun?
I found it back there. It's not magic. So I guess it can't be a problem in our Western story. At least I won't be leaving my fingerprints on the evidence this time. There's tape wrapped around the handle and the trigger. My gosh, Frank, I might have killed you.
Hand the gun to me very slowly, Nikki.
Well, I have something to say to whichever one of you try to knock me off. Knock it off!
Lieutenant,
Yes, Jenny?
we're way overdue for a break.
Oh, sorry.
Back in 10, everyone. We're clearing the set.
Chaffee, you're gonna protect me, right? There's already been 2 murders committed on this stage.
3 if you count the integrity of musical theater.
You couldn't be surrounded by more police than you are at the moment, Mrs. Bernstein.
Come on, Mother. You should get something to eat. If you're nervous, I'll taste your food for you.
You have no taste, Elaine. I've seen your makeup, your closet, and your boyfriend's. And I've seen a few of your boyfriends in your closet with your makeup.
You never have a good word to say about me, do you? Especially in public. I thought I did pretty good in that last number.
Big deal, considering the 15 years of ballet, jazz, and circus training I paid for. I'm sorry, but you just don't have what it takes. You volunteer for this life. Change your hair, change your name, and why of all names on earth did you pick Bambi?
Because in the movie, Bambi's mother is shot to death by hunters.
Someone just tried to do that to me, sweetheart, and I noticed nobody's ruled you out. Come on, Olive. I've got the keys to the lobby bar. I'll fix us some Bloody Marys.
Well, despite what your mother says, you were great in that Kansas Land number.
Lieutenant, I really appreciate that.
No, I'm the one who should be thanking you.
Bambi, your dance really was good.
Yeah, better than I could have imagined, kiddo.
It's like I told you, Bobby, just give me a chance and I won't let you down.
And don't listen to a single word your mother says. It's very clear to all of us that you're not in the show because of nepotism.
I guess that's pretty obvious.
Believe me, Lieutenant, Bambi is not the girl in this cast using personal connections to help with the show.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, sorry. Stage managers, equal parts psychiatrist, mother hen, and father confessor. What anybody in this cast tells me, I consider privileged information. Besides, what I know, Lieutenant, you wouldn't want to.
Oh, Georgia, there you are.
Aaron, good. I had a question for you three about Bernstein's Little Black Book of Blackening. He had a memo about every cast member with 3 noteworthy exceptions. You, and you. Going by this, Bernstein had nothing on you. Yet the production budget says you're getting the same raw deal as the rest of the gang. Why are you toiling for pennies when you could be doing so much better elsewhere? No one has anything to say?
Well, can you blame us? I mean, if I recall one of those death threats saying, make another sound and you'll end up underground.
Yes, Georgia, but I never read that particular death threat out loud.
What?
Nikki and the late Miss Cranshaw were the only cast members who saw it, other than the person who wrote it, of course.
Well, then Nikki showed me then.
I told her not to tell anyone.
I didn't, Frank. I told you I wouldn't, so I didn't.
Then I'm sorry, Miss Hendricks, but I have no choice but to book you under suspicion of murder.
Hold on a second.
Nikki, would you be able to go on tonight?
Oh, now I get it. You want to give a little boost to your sweetheart's career.
My relationship with Nikki Harris is purely that of police investigator and possible suspect.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, I'm really liking you, Frank.
Oh, it's reciprocal, I assure you.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear that.
I'm more than glad. I was doing something.
Arresting me for murder?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. Jessica Cranshaw's death. Please don't forget what we were saying. Jessica Cranshaw's death gave you the chance to star on Broadway. And when Sid Bernstein was going to close the show in Boston, his death kept your chance alive. I am sorry, Miss Hendricks, but you have to come with me.
No.
Are you serious?
Wait, Lieutenant! I'm the one you want.
Are you confessing to the murders, Mr. Fox?
You heard what I said.
That's not a simple thing to retract.
Think about what you're doing.
I have. This is a great thing going on in your life. I'm not important now.
Very noble. Yet you're on the record as being dead set against Georgia taking this part.
I only said that because I knew if she took the part, she wouldn't have time to write with me, to be with me. That's how Sydney got me to work for nothing. It's the only way I knew how to be near her again. Stuck out of town, night after night, huddled over a piano. Who knows what might have happened next?
That's how Sydney got me to work on the show, Aaron. I wanted the same thing.
You did?
I do.
But you and Baga, forget that. I don't understand.
I didn't want you to. Not until I knew how you felt. But you seemed as preoccupied as ever with your music.
Because our songs were the only place you and I were still together.
You said our songs.
Songs? Our life? What was I thinking when I let you slip away? Oh yeah. I was thinking of me. Only of me. What was I thinking? Spending each moment of each waking day, thinking of me, shutting you out,
Sometimes.
making you wait,
Sometimes.
too self-involved to say how I do need you. But why pretend? I miss the music. I miss my friends. No need to wonder what I would choose. I choose the music I made with you. I love the music I made with you.
Wait a second. Toffee, you know how I knew that particular death threat? You showed it to me when you were questioning me. And you were going to charge me with murder?
Guess the joke's on me.
Lieutenant, I hereby officially unconfess to everything, except for being a fool.
Aaron, our director needs to see you. On the double.
Am I excused?
Go.
I'll see you downstairs.
Partner.
Partner. Thank you, Lieutenant. You played your part very effectively.
Oh, and what a treat to share a scene with you. And a fair exchange. You got Aaron to show you his cards, and I got the reason why you both came on board with this show.
You and Georgia staged all that?
Yes, and it was her idea, and a good one, I thought. And you've been playing a part too, haven't you, Bobby?
I plead guilty to impersonating Georgia's devoted lover.
When we first started rehearsals, I asked Bobby if he'd pretend we were involved again to stir up something. Anything in Aaron.
Good job.
Thank you, Bobby. I'm so grateful.
Just a polite reminder, you're both still suspects.
Great.
But Bobby, I may have found out why Aaron and Georgia agreed to work for Sidney Bernstein, but I still don't know your reason.
I've always wanted to give the performance of a lifetime.
Fooling Aaron that you're still in love with Georgia.
No. Fooling Georgia that I'm acting. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her.
Except commit murder.
Even that, if she asked me.
Frank, why does love have to make so many people feel bad? How much should be warned that Cupid is armed and dangerous?
Maybe romance should be left strictly in the hands of the police.
If you mean present company, I'd vote yes on that proposition.
Oh, Miss Harris.
Please call me Frank. I mean, please call me Frank.
I never believed in that whole some enchanted evening thing. Until now. The first time I saw you, there was a blue wash on the stage, and they hit you with a pink special. It was
just like a musical, huh, Frank?
I thought, Mickey, I thought to myself, you and I, we could be a tough act to follow. Can't you see special people doing special things? Running rings around anywhere, anywhere. You and I, we could stay a tough act to follow in every way. If you hold my hand and let the music start, let the curtains part, let the spotlight glow. Gosh, I wish I could do that.
Oh, you can, Frank. It's simple, really. Just follow me. Stomp, hop, slap, step, stamp, stomp.
Nikki, what were you doing just now?
Oh, it's silly.
No, go on.
I was imagining we were dancing together like Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire.
So was I! Isn't that incredible? Both of us having the exact same fantasy at the same time. Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. In your fantasy, who was I?
Fred.
Same here! And the song we were singing?
Would make for a great opening number.
No, more like finale. Would you like to go out?
You won't let me leave.
I keep forgetting. And I can't make any exceptions even though you're exceptional.
Frank, from the moment I first shook your hand, I knew that...
Shook your hand?
What?
Shook your hand. Nikki, I think it's time you told me what Sid Bernstein had on you.
Oh, it's nothing. Really. Like the rest of the cast, I want to be here. I've had wonderful reviews up here in Boston, but this is the best chance I've ever had at Broadway.
Jenny hinted that a woman in this cast had used some secret personal connection to advance her career, and that I wouldn't like knowing who she was. Did she mean you?
Every show is filled with gossip.
Oh, Nikki, you didn't say no. Who is it?
I made a promise to someone I wouldn't talk about it, and I don't break promises.
You know, in Sid Bernstein's notebook, the one with memos about everyone's secret, next to your name he wrote a great big 0.
I'm glad.
Or maybe it was the letter O.
Olive, the sandwich you ordered is ready. Nikki, for crying out loud, you've got to get into your costume.
I'm sorry.
Silly girl. All right, folks, 5 minutes, and we're back on stage to learn and block yet another version of In the Same Pose.
Jenny, if Nikki shared some secret with you, I have to know.
Don't talk near the microphone, Lieutenant. When it's on, everybody downstairs can hear you.
You tell me now what you know about Nikki Harris.
In what capacity are you asking that question? Office of Law or Dylan's boyfriend? Is what I say going to be held against me? Or will you hold it against me? If I don't say what you want to hear.
I haven't finished questioning the rest of the cast, and I'm not finished with you.
All right, prep the set for In the Same Boat.
Come here, my sweetheart. Come here.
Who's there?
Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you.
Look, this is no time to joke around. We've had 2 people die already.
Oh, sorry, dear friend. I didn't mean to frighten you. I've just been searching for poor Ophelia here. She's been with this theater for eons. Apparently. I'll just put her in her basket backstage.
I'm set here, men. Take 5. Q59, dropping planet Earth. Oh, gone away from our genius director. Did you, Ophelia? Come here, pussy kitten. Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. Oh, that's funny. I thought you were. Whoa, hey, if you're worried I'm gonna tell anybody what I know about you and
target up here in the flies, especially with the entire cast proposing directly below us.
I found the gun used on Jenny backstage, and Nikki found the gun fired at Carmen. I'm sort of hoping the killer has run out of guns by now.
Well, it's been hours since poor Jenny was murdered. At this point, why would you possibly be dragging me up here?
Because you know the most about the technical cues in this show.
Why do you need me?
The last time I spoke with Jenny, you were the topic of conversation. I'm not letting you out of my sight until I figure out her dying message.
Dying message?
Yes, Jenny knew her killer. She only had seconds to live and she couldn't write, couldn't speak. Her bloodstains tell us she drugged herself to her call book and tore out one page on which she'd written, "Drop in planet Earth."
Well, drop in is simply the term we use to refer to anything lowered from up here in the flies.
Exactly. Skyline drops in, mountain drops in.
Mary Martin drops in.
There's a drop of the earth at the end of In the Same Boat.
There will never be an end to In the Same Boat. Oh, listen, they're rehearsing the latest version now. Same melody and orchestra part. Oh, just collect the entire series.
Oh gosh, that's it. I solved it. Come on, we have to get down from here fast.
Retreat after me, quickly.
Are you coming, Frank?
You go ahead, I'll be right along.
Oh, be careful. The killer may realize you're onto him.
Yes, but as long as I'm up here, I might as well see what's written on the side of this drop. Planet Earth. Nikki? Gee, isn't it amazing how you can be totally stumped until suddenly it hits you?
Isn't any better than any of the other versions.
This was Chaffee's big idea. Where the hell did he get to?
Yeah, something's not right.
Especially with this song.
I'll tell you what's not right. Us singing our merry little heads off when Jenny just got killed a couple hours ago.
Jenny, Sydney, Jessica, all murdered on this stage. Which one of us gets it next? I'm sorry I asked.
Oh my god, it's the killer! Somebody use something fast! No, that's wrong what I meant!
Excuse me, I think I can use a little help.
Stop the music!
What on earth is going on here? No pun intended. Nikki, you must have pushed it.
Me? Why would you say that?
Because you and I were the only ones up there with him, and I've almost entirely ruled out myself.
Folks, the answer has been staring us in the face all along. I need to see music to this number, quick.
There's a copy off stage. Come on.
He must have fallen off the catwalk. We were walking back down.
What the hell were you doing all the way up in the fly?
I'm beginning to ask myself the same question. Nikki, did you see anything?
I don't know, it was dark. I suppose I might have been hitched to a rope.
This was no accident. I can wait. I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. Let me see. Damn.
What's the matter, Lieutenant?
I just remembered I can't read music. Never mind. Basic logic tells me that Aaron, you wrote all three versions of In the Same Boat to fit the same orchestra parts, right?
Right.
Then if all three versions fit the same arrangement, they must all fit with each other. That's what will give this number the kick in the derriere it's been needing. The entire company singing three different songs at the same time. It'll make Fugue for tenors look like Frere Jacques.
But what about the murders?
Oh, will you forget about the murders for a second?
But you said that you'd got it, that you'd solved it.
Solved how to salvage this number. I want to run this now. Bring in the set, Jenny.
She's dead.
All right. I keep forgetting. Ladies and gentlemen, get set for the top of the number. Lose the globe and bring in the rest of the waves. We'll have Rob Hood and the ladies trying to catch the steamboat for Wichita before the farmers lose their land. Is everybody on board with that?
Aye, aye, Captain.
That's Lieutenant. Ladies and gentlemen, finish setting the waves and we will begin with Georgia at the top. Are you ready?
Ready.
Start it off slow.
In the same boat, on the same sea, shaking inside as the tide keeps rising. Nary a ship, nary a sail, nary a soul on the whole horizon.
Here come the three pals, match up the rapids.
Here we are, my ship days at me, lost on a weary sea. All the planks are springing a leak. We'd like to fail, but we forgot the pail, and we regret to say our compass is gone. Somehow we still sail on, because two heads are best at some fellow boat. And from the head, we're in the same.
Headed down the river come the damsels in distress.
Tired and torn, weary and worn, feeling forlorn that we look untidy, chewing our nails, praying that whales are allowed to eat meat on Fridays, so we are not discouraged. Due to the ancient quote that you like to do and take it all on the street when you're in the same boat.
It's the high step and towel to the rescue.
It's unusually wrong, the going terribly wrong. As if that wasn't enough, they lost it all. They find
sure the answer must be in the clue Jenny left us. Drop in planet Earth. The Earth on a stage, the world on a stage.
All the world's a stage. Shakespeare!
Shakespeare. These are actors, we're all spirits and are melted into air. My gosh, that's it. I know what Jenny meant. Chris!
I did it! I am so sorry. I take credit for everything. What do you want?
I need to see the final moments of the show from just before Jessica collapsed.
The company bows. That is the last thing we need to be rehearsing.
You don't think I know that? Please?
Laces for the company bows, people.
I'll also need Jenny's microphone. Listen, Nikki. I know a way to wrap this up fast, but it would be putting you at some risk.
Frank, you do what you have to do.
Folks, I have an announcement for the cast and all my men downstairs. Nikki Harris and I just got engaged. Yes, she'll be leading the show at the end of its Boston run to create the role of Mrs. Lieutenant Frank Choppy. Now, can we please run this from just before Jessica took her bow?
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Oh, thank you. We're very happy. Aaron, Olive, Carmen, you said you were watching from the theater that night. Watch for me. Tell me if you see anything different.
Wide open spaces, everywhere I look, I see those wide open spaces where the future waits for you and me.
It's so weird to see people bow without any applause.
No, it was pretty much like this on opening night.
Here comes our leading lady.
It's Kansas
Wait,
forever.
stop. Hold on a second. You're
Harv.
But you're in the show. What are you doing up here?
On the bows, I quick change into this tuxedo and give Jessica these plastic flowers.
She demanded a bouquet at every performance. She also wanted us to play the Star Spangled Banner to guarantee her a standing ovation.
Yeah, I would come down the aisle and give Jessica these flowers.
So you put on a tuxedo, come down the aisle with a bouquet, and hand them up to Jessica. And what would she be doing?
Well, she'd be singing.
And did anyone notice anything different on opening night?
Lieutenant, now that you mention it, I think when she took the flowers, she moved her hand to her mouth like she was covering a yawn.
Or like something had just struck her throat?
But when you put it that way, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. It happened right after Jessica took the second bouquet.
The second bouquet?
Yes, she had two bouquets on opening
Oh,
night.
yeah.
The first from Harv in this aisle, and the second from somebody else in that aisle over there. He was wearing a tuxedo, but the flowers covered his face.
Yeah, I saw him too, but I just figured Carmen had hired an extra set of hands for opening night.
Just to boost Jessica's ego? Not a chance.
Well, maybe it was somebody that genuinely liked Jessica's performance.
No, I think we can roll that one out.
So that's it. The killer knew about the bouquet, and on opening night came straight down the aisle with his own flowers, concealing both his face and something as simple as a pellet gun. The killer fired a capsule in point-blank range into Jessica's mouth as she sang. And that's how your star was killed on stage in full view of you and your audience.
But then that means we're all in the clear.
No, not everyone was on stage at that moment, Nikki. Where were you, Mr. Belling?
Taking a walk. Alone, as you well know.
Aaron, you said you were standing at the back of the theater.
Yes, and just like every other man on opening night, I was wearing a tuxedo.
And I'd swear I was with him the entire time, Lieutenant.
I'm sure you would. Olive?
I was sitting with Carmen in the last row of the orchestra. I'm pretty sure she would have noticed if I got up out of my seat and headed for the stage.
That's right.
That's so very right. One person alone had both the perfect opportunity and a powerful motive.
Joffrey! Someone hit me!
But if that's Bobby, then who's this?
Your devoted admirer, Nikki. Determined to bring down the curtain on Robin Hood because if this show ever went to Broadway, you'd forever leave his sphere of influence. A sphere represented by the circle next to your name in Bernstein's notebook. A sphere that was Jenny's dying clue to us. A planet called Earth. Or as Shakespeare put it, the great globe itself. The busting globe in its senior
Careful, Joffrey, you don't ever want to see her face again.
Easy, Daryl.
Easy for you, you're going to marry her. I heard you say over the house meeting that she loves you. She never loved me.
Frank, I swear, I didn't know.
But she does know you, Daryl, doesn't she? You shun publicity, your face has never been published, yet she walked right up to you and tried to shake your hand to thank you for the compliments you paid her.
I specifically told her not to tell anyone so I could praise and proclaim her in my reviews.
He was only a friend giving me advice. It was never more than that.
It was more than that to me, Nikki. I needed you here where I could hail you and guide you. But this infernal musical was going to New York no matter what I wrote about it. At least that's what Sid Bernstein said.
But watching the show and previews, you saw how to guarantee that Jessica Cranshaw would never make it to Broadway. As a critic on opening night, you could dash from your seat after the finale without any eyebrow being raised, retrieve a bouquet you had hidden in the lobby, and come straight back down the aisle as the ultimate showstopper.
Yes, and I tried to shoot Carmen and sandbag you. The same way I posted closing notices for Jessica and Jenny. An imperfect performance on my part when one learns from one's mistakes. Right, Nikki?
Daryl, I see you're out of guns. How far from this theater do you think you can get without one?
Good point. Set your gun down for me.
Wait.
Now!
Fine. Just don't hurt her.
Get back.
Daryl, I'm going to take Nikki away from you now.
You already have!
Frank, don't!
Take one step and you're dead. Fine, you're dead!
In situations like this, I always unload the gun in my shoulder holster and put the bullets in this gun. Come here, Nikki. Mr. Grady, you're under arrest.
My life get any worse!
Detective O'Farrell?
Yeah, I got it, Lieutenant. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and won't get used against you in a court of law.
How's that? When I saw he was standing under the sandbag, I heard Opportunity play Knock Knock. Trying to shut down my show, you weasel! Break a leg! Oh, he did.
Well, folks, everyone's a witness to Mr. Grady's confession, so I'll need you all to head down to give a brief statement in the green room. And then, only a few more hours before your new opening night.
Yeah.
Bobby, you okay? You need some help?
Nah, I think I should well, maybe I can use a little help.
It's like I told you, just give me a chance and I won't let you down.
Hey, Joffy, if Robin Hood is a hit, I have you to thank. If you ever want a vested suit and a nice gabardine, just stop by my showroom. For you, Lieutenant, anything in the store. 10% off.
Funny. Suddenly I feel like a flock of butterflies is coming out of hibernation in my stomach.
Luckily, you came good chasing those butterflies. There's a lot of work for you both before tonight's curtain.
There's lots of unfinished business to take care of.
Before and after the show. Any additional notes before we open the curtain, Lieutenant?
Actually, Chris, Nikki and I have an idea of a new finale for the show.
I'm sure we'll be singing a different tune if you feel we should. Oh, and bravo, the great detective.
Bravo, the great director.
I swear I didn't have a clue about Daryl Brady.
I had more than one, and it still took me a while to figure him out.
But the mystery is solved, then does that mean our engagement is over?
Maybe we could discuss that after tonight's show. There's this coffee shop where I'm on very good terms with the management.
Frank, we have a date.
Another triumph, Lieutenant. See you back at the station.
Nice work, Toffee. You put life into a show that was dying, and now they'll put Grady away for life.
Well, I had a lot of help, especially from you.
Me?
You and your daughter. I told her how much you'd shown me in that square dance numbers of hers. She was great.
Better than great.
Ah! Finally to hear you say it. You had me as flim-flammed as everybody else, until I saw how really good she was, and turned to see the pride in your face as you watched her. You tell everybody it's a business, but I found you out, Carmen. You're the stage mother of all times. You married Sid Bernstein, put up with all of his affairs and shady deals just to get your daughter onto the Broadway stage. And so that no one could accuse her of getting there on your coattails, you've always belittled her talent in public, even if she hates you for it.
Well, you can't let her know. I want her to think she got it all on her own.
You're amazing.
But how did knowing that help you catch Grady?
Oh, it didn't. I just explained why you killed your husband.
What? Grady killed my husband.
No, Grady killed Jessica and Jenny and tried to kill you because he wanted this show closed, and that's exactly what your husband was going to do.
Well, then he was killed by someone he was blackmailing.
If that was the case, I think they would have taken this little black book with him. He must have told you.
He didn't tell me he was closing the show.
He told Olive. Why wouldn't he tell you? You were his partner.
Because the partnership was over. He had himself a conniving little ingenue on Sutton Place, and I was out in the streets.
So he didn't need you.
He didn't need anyone. Grady promised him rave reviews on his next 3 shows if he shut this one down now.
So your husband did tell you he was closing the show?
No!
Then how would you know the terms of a deal he made just minutes before he died if you weren't the last person to see him alive?
He laughed at me. No more shows, no more dreams. After all I'd had to take from him, he laughed at me and Elaine like we were nothing.
And?
And I killed him.
Of course you did.
So what happens to me now, Lieutenant?
On impulse, you lashed out at your blackmailing, unfaithful husband. when he told you your daughter wouldn't get the chance for which you'd sacrificed everything. A decent lawyer might get you a few years on a reduced sentence. A great lawyer might get you an all-expenses-paid weekend to sunny San Diego. But you'll have to stand trial.
I know.
Oh, why don't we build your daughter's part up some more? Add another song or two for Nikki, and maybe I don't solve this part of the mystery until after the show opens on Broadway.
You would do that? Oh, Frank, you give me that, and I'll let you walk me out of the cast party at Sardis straight into police headquarters.
I'll have you fall night and day till then.
I understand, but if the show goes to New York, what about you and Nikki?
There's always a spot in the NYPD for a Boston lieutenant who doesn't mind a cut in rank and pay.
Chaffee, you know what? I think you're one of us. There's a special kind of people known as show people.
We live in a world full of dreams. Sometimes we're not too certain what's false and what's real, but we're seldom in doubt about what we feel.
Lieutenant, your experience with assault and battery, correct? I'm afraid Bobby may need some first aid. He's still a bit wobbly on his feet after being hit on the head by Brady.
Let me take a look at him.
But we've only hours before the curtain opens, and I'm afraid he may not rise to the occasion.
Oh, don't worry, Chris. The cry of places everyone is smelling salts to any trooper. The sound of the orchestra playing its overture will be pure adrenaline. His aches will be bathed in the warmth of a spotlight. His spirits will be lifted by the hands of an adoring Rob who will carry Bobby right through the very last scene of Robin Hood. Not when I finally found myself a home. A place where I belong, keeping company with the people I care the most about.
You came to us as a stranger. You rid this place of crime, and you gave us new hope in ourselves.
That's gonna be one tough act to follow.
Well, how's this? Will you be my lawful wedded wife, Miss Nikki? Nancy?
Oh, yes, I will.